So, in this series on how I write, design, and self-publish my own books, in step number 4 of this process, whenever I start writing for a new book, I quickly decide what type of book it's going to be. What kind of type of book am I going to write, which then helps fuel my research and help design the format for writing the book. Now, what kind of books can you write? Well, most people think of fiction, nonfiction, self-help, biographies, etc. Well, here are some book types that you can write. Check this out. How-to books, self-help, tips and tactics books, mistakes books, regrets book, f.a.q book, a pitch offer book, motivational book, health and fitness books, social reform, journals and logs, books based on articles or a compilation, checklists, a romance novel, business and money, a cookbook, fiction, children's books. I think you get the picture. There's a lot of book types out there. Also, here are other types of books you can write. And of course, biographical, memoirs, experiential, customer-client, cartoon comics, humor, horror, historical, parenting, poetry, political, science fiction, suspense. Whatever is on your mind to write your book about, write it. And then write it really fast. There's really no right or wrong way to write a book. It's just there are some really cool formats that I've come across when it comes to writing books. And here are some of the books that I've written to give you examples of what's possible. For example, here's a how-to book that I wrote. The Ultimate Self-Publishing Manual, full color on the inside. How to write, design, publish, and print, and sell your book for fun and profit really fast. This book is huge. It's like 300 pages, full color illustrations, how to, what to. I explain so much stuff about the self-publishing process. That's why I call it the Ultimate Self-Publishing Manual. It's a true how-to book. Find the one for me. Here's a self-help book in the area of relationships that I wrote. Love this book. 300 pages. I kind of call it the Bible of relationships. It covers you from the age 18 to 88. How to picture the one for you. Prepare to meet the one for you. Start looking for the one for you. You found them? Great. Hanging out with the one for you. Securing that person, hopefully for life, the one for you. Living with the one for you. And then after the one for you is gone, because all relationships do end. Death, divorce, separation, health-wise, health reasons, mental health. It's sad, but it's the truth. But again, great book, self-help for relationships. Here's a tips and tactics book that I wrote called Speaker Success Tips, Tactics, and Strategies. And don't forget actionable items. Start speaking and presenting like a rock star speaker. This is a great book. The 99 plus tips of great speaker success tactics. Good stuff. Mistakes book. This was a very interesting book. 150 mistakes coaches make. So this book is just filled with mistakes that coaches make. Life coaches, personal coaches, business coaches, all kinds of, personal and business coaches. 150 plus mistakes. I love this book. There's like 10 chapters in it, 10 sections. And when coaches, for example, they read this, they're like, oh, wow. Oh, I don't want to make that mistake. Oh, I'm glad I don't do that. Or I used to do that. Or I knew a coach who did that and made many mistakes and it costed, them their business. Regrets book. This was another interesting relationship book that I wrote. This has 251 plus regrets that people have in their relationships, whether it's dating, marriage, sex, relationships. I regret not walking up to her and just striking up a conversation. You got a 100% chance of never knowing what would have happened if you didn't just walk up and talk to her. But you have a 50% chance of knowing if you're going to win or lose by taking the chance. Oh, I regret not giving her my phone number. All these regrets. I regret going into this relationship too fast. I regret staying with this person for too long. Wow, if you were to read 251 regrets that people have with their relationships, I think that might sharpen you up with how you go about your relationships. Here's an interesting book, f.a.q book. When I wrote this book, How to Become a TV Guest, I said to myself, how am I going to write this? It's interesting. I can't really write it like a nonfiction or a self-help. I don't want to do that. I know. People have questions on how to become a guest on TV. I know, this will be an FAQ book. I'm going to come up with 25 questions that people have about getting on TV as a guest expert. Then I'm going to answer the questions. Well, I wrote this book in 1 week. I made the questions, the list, in a few hours. And then I spent the whole week answering the questions and formatting the book at the same time. So it was an amazing book that I wrote in a record time. And this is an FAQ book. A lot of my clients, actually, I encourage them to write an FAQ book. I'm actually helping 2 people right now. They are experts in their field of a particular disability. And I had questions about what it is that they do because I have a neighbor who has this particular disability. And I said, you 2 should write books, one for you, sir, and one for you, ma'am. These are the experts in the office. And I said, here are some questions I have. And if you had a book that you could just hand me or something with the answers, I would feel so much, more positive and confident to help my neighbor, because that's what I'm actually doing right now. I'm helping her. And she too would have the benefit of knowing the answers to these questions that she would never even know to ask. I could picture like real estate agents coming up with a book, 21 questions that people have about buying real estate, selling real estate, buying their first home. These are like lead generators for real estate agents. Anyhow, FAQ book, great book to do and write for if it fits your situation, and it just might. Here's a training style book. This book, whoa, this is a big book too. 250 pages, something like that, plus or minus, 8.5 by 11, like a full manual. I read 50 books on coaching. I found them all to be so boring, offering nothing of any kind of advice, real meat. It was devoid of meat. And I put together this ultimate manual, this training style, this all-in-one coaching manual for coaches to improve their financial game when it comes to making money in their coaching business. It's pure business. It's pure tactics. I love this book. It's a training style book. Literally, I could sell it for $60 or $80 or $100 because there's so much material in here for coaches to benefit from. And again, this is an 8.5 by 11 sort of manual, a training style book. Pretty cool. Hey, we all need to motivate ourselves, right? To succeed. Nobody's going to do it for us. So I thought to write a book about motivation because I am highly motivated. I motivate myself to write 25 books, record almost all of them, hours of recorded audio, websites, design, building them. The list goes on of the stuff that I do because I'm motivated. So I thought, I'll just give away my motivational secrets. What motivates me to succeed? It's all in the book. Health and wellness book. Hey, are you a fitness guru? I know I'm not, but I still have my personal things that I do to help me maintain weight and muscle and just stay healthy. I haven't seen the doctor since I was in high school, And the point is I've got some health and fitness tips to share. I'm going to put them in a book because the book could be given away for free, digitally speaking, to any group of people, prospects. And if you're a fitness trainer or a fitness coach, which I have some friends who are, I kind of encouraged them to write a book about fitness and health and give these people, these ideas and these tips. And it's just a way to build a bridge between you and your potential client. So I think it was pretty cool. I like it. It's great. It's got all my weight loss tips and my eating and diet and grocery shopping tips. And I borrowed a few of the recipes out of my cookbook and I put them in here, like my salad, my soup, my healthy pizza, just a lot of good stuff. I like it. It's a good book. Health and wellness. Here's one, social reform book. This book is aimed at helping those coming out of prisons or halfway houses who need help adjusting to society and getting back out there in society. So this was a good book to write, and I wrote it from the heart. And I witnessed on television, I was watching some locked up programs, and I was like, oh my God, is that the rehabilitation program that they're offering? Oh my God, they're missing so many points of life and sharing and direction and guidance. Okay, never mind. I'll tell you what. I'm going to go write this book. And I came up with the book idea in 2006, 2007, and I didn't finish it for 10 years. It wasn't a high priority, but it was still something I cared about because I like people to have a chance, to have hope, that they can do it, they can make it, they can climb that mountain, they can win. And so this was my contribution to giving to others and helping them have that kind of hope on the outside. I thought it was pretty cool. What do you care about? Do you care about a certain charity or a fundraiser or a cause? Well, write a book about it or something and help those people. That's what I'm trying to do here. Here's an interesting book. This book was based on articles. I had written a number of articles about the interview process in the media, and I kind of just wanted another book. I don't know what number I was on. My 17th book, my 18th book, I don't know what number. And I said, I want a book that helps people better improve their interview skills when they interact with the media, getting interviewed. This has nothing to do with jobs and resume and interviewing at a company. No. This is all about the media, getting interviewed on podcast shows, radio shows, television, etc. And I had all these articles, and I thought, what would it be like if I took the articles and I compiled them into a book? And sure enough, this book, it's a small book. And how cool it turned out to be. And I love the cover. I love everything about it. And it was a book based on articles that I wrote. What articles have you written? Have you written a lot of articles? What if you compiled them and turned them into a book? Why not? Here's a book of checklists. I'm really big on checklists. I'm big on what do I do next? I like to take the guesswork out of what I'm supposed to do first, second, third, fourth. So I have all these checklists. They just came to me. They totaled like 70 plus checklists from, audio recording checklists, building a website checklists, working with WordPress checklists, interview checklists, conducting your own seminar or webinar checklists, publicity and marketing checklists, a checklist for tax deductions. It was just huge, 70 of them. So I created this 8.5 by 11, kind of manual size, it's pretty big, of all these checklists. It's a beautiful book. I love it. And whenever I want to do something or something, I just, let's see, there it is. There's the checklist. Okay, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. What do you know that you could create a checklist book for? A checklist for parents, a checklist for going to get your car repaired or whatever, So, checklist book. A romance novel book. Well, I've written relationship books for a long time. And some of my fans of my relationship books, I've always said, Bart, you should go write a romance book. And I'm like, all right, yeah, sure. Well, it finally hit me, and I finally had the time. I think it was like February 2021 or something like that. And I thought, okay, let's sit down and let's just storytell. And the beautiful thing about fiction, because this is fiction, of course, it's, romance. Well, it's fiction based on some truth. And isn't most fiction based on truth? Whether it's something that happened to you or something that you've observed with others or something that you would want to happen to yourself, etc. So I wrote the book. It was a lot of fun. I'd written non-fiction, self-help books for a long time. So to write something that was, storytelling, fiction, take me away, kind of thing, that was a lot of fun. So I actually took a couple online classes on how to write romance books just to kind of introduce myself to the genre, because I had never written romance before. Anybody can tell a story for sure, but what are some of the things you need to remember to do or include or start out with, disclaimers, etc. I learned a lot, and it was a great process, and I loved it. And then I recorded the book, and that was a lot of fun too. So, romance novel book. Give it a try. You might discover you're pretty good at it, and it could open up a whole new world of book writing for you. Here's a book, Doing Great Business in Tough Times. This is about business and money. So maybe you are a business owner. Maybe you're an expert financial analyst. Write a book about money, business, industries, go for it. And then, of course, one of my ultimate favorites, my cookbook, food. Who doesn't love food? I love food. I really like it. I do. I cook a lot. I do profess. I feel like I'm a walking restaurant. I can cook Asian, Mexican, Italian, American food, meals, fried rice, yakisoba, stir-fried Japanese noodles, pad thai, pizza. My burgers are something incredible. Barbecue sauce, bacon, mushrooms, cheese, toasted bun. My salad is otherworldly. Anyhow, I like to cook. Do you like to cook? Hey, why not put together a cookbook? I took my own photographs of my food. Do you know by me taking photographs of my own food for my cookbook. Do you know that I saved myself upwards of $15,000 hiring a professional photographer to take pictures of my food, taking pictures of my own food in my kitchen? And then I laid the book out myself. That was a savings of about $5,000 to $7,000. This cookbook, if done by somebody else, let's say a publishing company or somebody helped somebody with it, I did upwards of $15,000 to $25,000 worth of work in this one cookbook. And it's amazing. I love it. It's going to land me on television faster than some of my other books because everybody loves food. Let me come and make an omelet for you on your TV show in the morning, or let me come to you at night and I'll show you how to whip up my world famous pizza or my sauteed sweet potatoes with salmon on the side, or just all kinds of stuff. Check it out. bartscookbook.com. And that's it. Well, for now. I've got other books that I've written, but did you get some ideas, from what you just saw? What about you? What did you see? What kind of ideas do you have? Hey, Bart, I'm in an industry I have a category or a genre that I could write for myself and my audience about regrets in X topic, or mistakes that people make. So, what type of book do you want to write now? Is it about mistakes, regrets? Is it a how-to book, a nonfiction? What is it? Whatever type of book you want to write it, and write it really fast, like I do. In this video series on how I self-publish my books and write and design them all, I'm going to teach you how I use a Google Doc template for books, a book template in Google Docs that I created that helps you blaze through the writing process. I'm also going to get into, in this next video, how I do my research. I got this stuff down. And hey, I hope after you go through all these video tutorials, you get it down too, so that you too can write your book really fast. Because, I know one of my books took 10 years to write, but I've written books in a weekend. I've written books in a week, 30 days, 60, 90 days. I like to write my books fast now, really fast. Come on, let's get into the next video in this series. You're doing great. And hey, I'm glad you're sticking with it. There's a lot to learn, but you've already learned so much already. Hey, comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. I'll comment right back as soon as I can. All right, come on, let's check out the next video.